I need you to use your imaginations. Imagine that you're sitting in a chair. It's a comfortable seat, cushioned with armrests, but a pretty uncomfortable situation. Waiting. Your stomach wrenched in anticipation of what's to come. Every time you hear the door down the hallway open and shut, your heart starts to throb. You hear the footsteps only strangers walk by. You hear the door again. You listen to the footsteps. Your heart pounding inside of your chest. But this time, it's a familiar face that steps in front of you. I don't know how to put this easily. I'm gonna have to be blunt. Your cancer has grown significantly more aggressive and is spread throughout your system. It's taken over your heart. Your heart is simply too weak to pump blood. A transplant would be consumed within days. I cannot tell the future, but I can tell that your heart won't last longer than 21 days. You have 3 weeks to live. This kind of stuff isn't supposed to happen, right? I mean, not according to our plan, it isn't. We have this picture-perfect idea of what life is supposed to look like. Diapers, preschool, graduate, bride, parent, grandparent, and to dust we return. We end up expecting life to look a certain way, marked with a certain number of days. But in reality, none of that is up to us. Along the road of life, we find ourselves sitting in those familiar and uncomfortable seats of a church with tears in our eyes and a lump in our throat, thinking, it just wasn't her time, or he left us too soon. Wrong. It was her perfect time, and he left right on schedule. When it's our time, it's simply our time. So what if your time comes before you expect it to? What if your best friend's time comes sooner than you think that it should? What if your mom's time comes before you want it to? These are exactly the times when we are forced to realize that life is short. It's so unfortunate that it takes a near-death experience, fatal accident, a heart failure, that very loss of a loved one, to make us realize that tomorrow is not guaranteed. I grew up thinking that I understood this concept, but my senior year of high school, it became all too real to me. May of 2006, my dad went to go get his arthritis checked out. Came home with news that it was a tumor that had randomly grown out of his knee. June 8th, we found out that it was an incurable cancer. I didn't think that I would ever see the day that my invincible daddy stopped working. But in August, he had to, when he got onto oxygen full time. September, and the doc's prognosis went from 2 years to 1 month. November 26th, Dad lost the battle. June 8th to November 26th. 6 short months. Life is short. But my question is, just what if we were all to realize how short that life is and how much tomorrow is not guaranteed without the tragedy of bad news? I mean, what would life look like if we were conscious that tomorrow wasn't guaranteed to anybody? I can tell you what it'd look like. I can tell you exactly what life would look like, and that look would be stinking incredible. Life would be amazing. We would never hold back. We would be extreme. I mean, honestly, we would live all out. Waking up early in the morning to watch the sun come up wouldn't be such a chore. Every shower would be a chance to grab onto that shampoo bottle, sing your heart out as the star of the show. Vacuuming our cars would be an opportunity to race against the machine, and we would celebrate in front of everyone. Yes, I'm guilty of all of the above. Been caught and laughed at for doing so. But when you choose to live all out, you refuse to hold back. Okay, so there I was, like every good story starts out. At home on Memorial Day, when the storm struck, I was running from window to door, watching as the rain just poured down, listening to the booms of the thunder. I ran to the front door and watched as this massive puddle started to form in the parking lot. An internal conflict started to brew inside of me. to run through the puddle or not to run through the puddle. I kept justifying against it with reasons like, man, I have way too much to do. I cannot risk getting sick before convention. I mean, not in my good clothes. And no shoes. There could very possibly be sharp objects at the bottom of that puddle. Right about that time, my heart reached up and slapped me across the face, and I was off, kicking through the water, catching the raindrops on my tongue. Then that water of the pool was almost knee deep. No kidding. Not much on me, but still, it was almost knee deep, and I was having a blast, dancing in the rain in good clothes, no shoes, and laughing like an idiot all by myself. Imagine what it looked like to my neighbors. Not something that you typically think that an adult should be doing. See, but that's just the thing. It was my mind making all of those excuses why not to play in the puddle. Thankfully, that little kid voice in my heart fought a little bit louder. How often do we let our minds talk us out of these crazy, awesome, and random impulses? I mean, we make things so much bigger in our heads than they are in real life. Our hearts want to have a good time. They don't want to hold back. Shoot, our hearts roll like Nike. They say, just do it. Why? Because why not? When you get all out there, you can have a good time. Sure, something can go wrong, but at least it'll make a really good story sometime. State officer in hospital because of a tragic puddle accident. You know that you'd laugh, exactly. So I'm just saying that why wouldn't we just live all out? That's the thing. When you live all out, you refuse to hold back. When you live all out, you can really inspire yourself. Better yet, you can inspire somebody else. Because that very living all out is contagious. It motivates people to stop holding back and to start having fun in life. When you choose to live all out with the conscious mindset that life is short, you can make another choice that can really spread like wildfire. And that choice is to love all in. Love comes naturally to all of us alike. We have this amazing capability to live with so much more love than we already do. More love for ourselves, our families, our friends, and for complete strangers. Love is a very big four-letter word that can mean a lot of different things, but to love all in means that you live as though you cannot depend on having tomorrow to count on to share that love with somebody else. We can all remember when we were little, Christmas morning, and we ripped open all those presents, couldn't wait to play with our new gift. Then came that unfailing word from the parents. Share. Every time. The greatest of these gifts is love. Love is a gift, and a gift is meant to be used, and it's meant to be shared, just like we've always been taught. We all have plenty of it to give around. Everyone deserves to be loved, regardless of their story, whether or not we know it. And you know, we do have plenty of it to give around. You know, I'm confident that the more we share our love with people in a hand, a shoulder, a smile, or even a hug, our love bank just gets a little bit richer. See, to love all in means that you do not judge a life before you love it. To love all in means that you don't hold back. We all hold back, right? Instinctually, we do that. We're conditioned to hesitate and to let opportunities to live and opportunities to love, both great and small, just slip through our fingers. We've all done the shoulda, woulda, couldas, right? I mean, I know I should have. I wish I would have. I totally could have, but I didn't. So do it. Do it all out. Do it all in. Do it always. I cannot tell the future, but I can tell that the rest of your time here is completely up to you. Life is short, and tomorrow is not guaranteed. Now you know. So stop holding back. Live all out. Love all in.